half, maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. Third down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the first down.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Carry for Leonard Fournette. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. To throw, it's Brady. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he'll go out of bounds, looks like right at the 15.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Brady. And that'll be caught by Darden. That catch good for only a couple.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Brady looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Now Brady again. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Quiddy Pay in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards.
And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Throwing on first is Wentz.
He'll get that one to Taylor complete.
A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll bring up a 2nd down. To throw is Wentz. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Here we go now on 1st and goal.
Now Wentz. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Wentz. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. William Golston. He's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks.
So once again, they dial up the pressure and get home and get a sack. It brings up a 3rd and long, but it's really not an unmakeable one, especially considering they just gave up back-to-back sacks.
Touchdown! That's caught. Nyheim Hines, a 14-yard touchdown. As his guys are on the board first here tonight. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. From the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. One more drive here for the Buccaneer offense in this first half. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner. Now the Bucs going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
A hole to dig out of here. 2nd and 17.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Brady on the screen. Bernard. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So we come to halftime here with we now proceed to the start of the 2nd half. Just the 1 touchdown in that first half. 7-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3.
And this will not be returned, so the 2nd half begins with a touchback.
Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the 2nd half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
A good run there to start the drive. 13 yards, 1st down. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the 3rd quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's a give to Fournette. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Brady to throw.
That's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him. This type of a situation.
Second and 8.
Brady. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And they'll get him to the ground, and he has another first down at the Colts' 15-yard line. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. A handoff to Fournette. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Here's second and 9.
Now Brady.
They're looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And the Colts are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. And their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Jason Pierre-Paul. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Meanwhile, Wentz's throw complete here to Doyle.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Ran the perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now fourth down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a fourth down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
So here's Brady and the Bucs.
Down 7-0. A minute 52 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw on target to Godwin here.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Back to throw, Brady. Going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make.
Here's the punter, Bradley Pinion, on to get us started. And we are underway from Indianapolis.
And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25.
So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz. Wentz now on first down. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Five yards remain on second down.
To throw, it's Wentz. He's got Jack Doyle.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
First carry now for the former Badger, Jonathan Taylor.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses. 2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. This to Hines on the drop-off. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll make it a 2nd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well. First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
We're scoreless after 1. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Wentz now to throw.
Out to the right and complete to Pittman. And the Colts are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
And oftentimes we think about statement drives in the second halves of games, especially in the fourth quarter. But here, it's happening early, a definite statement. They've held on to the ball for a healthy portion of this first quarter already. And now after that completion, they're set up 1st and goal.
Now Wentz. Yeah, he's got it. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far.
Taylor.
And he pushes forward, but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this...
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor
punching it in from a yard away. And the Colts take it right down and score on the opening drive.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Always fun to get a peek at Tom Brady as he gets in place to command this offense for Tampa Bay.
And his task in this situation is making sure that his team knows that there's a sense of urgency, yet somehow still stays calm. Because your natural impulse, your first possession is not until the second quarter, is you got to attack right away. Throw something big at them right away. Yeah, you got to move the ball, but maybe be a little bit careful in doing so.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Brady now on first down.
Again, it's Johnson.
It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Options galore here. Second and a few inches.
To throw is Brady. Completing it to the right side, Johnson.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Brady now on first down. This one complete to Giovanni Bernard.
And he's going to have a first down here as they're also into field goal range at the 28.
So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome everybody to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been a hard-fought battle to this point. 7-0 is the score, with neither offense really able to get on track. But let's not waste any time. We'll get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the second half.
Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football.
And the half will begin with a touchback.
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive.
It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And you know what I think the defense is saying back to them? Why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. From the gun, it's Brady. And a first hookup with his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Oh, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Brady. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Quiddy Pay coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing is Wentz.
That's caught by his tight end, Kylen Granson.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
A little bit of space there for the first down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
They'll fake the give to Taylor. Now Wentz. They'll get this off to Taylor.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit him over the top.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devin White gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
Boy, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wentz. Incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
And eventually he's taken down here. Great coverage downfield, resulting in the sack. The 305-pound Ndamukong Suh finding the path to the QB there.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So here's Brady and the Bucs.
Down 7-0. Just over 2 minutes to go. They'll have one play here just north of the 2-minute warning. first down. Brady.
Connecting with Johnson.
We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
Brady to throw.
Getting it out wide here to Bernard.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down. To throw is Brady.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Kenny Moore. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. That's the story of the game. They suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.